Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and we are now in hour number 12 of our 24-hour Service Heroes Telethon, and we just lost our guest. She'll come back in a moment, and that is benefiting Chemo Buddies for life. And this hour is a really important hour, and we're actually going to be having, yes, we're going to be having one of our Chemo Buddies. Oh, here we go. We have our guest showing back up. And we have one more guest that is supposed to be coming. I'm going to put here, I'm going to go ahead and get this ready and so that we can share it. And so, welcome, Joy.
Hi, Tamara.
You're always such joy. And last night when we were getting ready and you were being so helpful as we were doing tests with light and just everything, and I loved it when you shared the idea of the music, which we still haven't been able to figure that one out because every single electronic something that we've been using, but next year definitely we will be doing that. But I loved it when you were talking about the love and light, and that was just that, it just epitomized everything that you're about. And thank you for following. I've seen that you've been with us a lot, and so far, what do you think? We're on hour number 12. What do you think?
I think it's absolutely amazing.
You froze. You know, we have Eric Zuli in the house, and Eric, yes. Hey, Joy, yes. And Sharon, of course, Sharon. Yeah. Are you back? Are you unfrozen?
Me?
Yeah, you froze there for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Good morning. Okay. Yeah, so you were saying what you have thought about the show so far, and our very first offering, and I think the very first one that's been ever attempted in this type of a platform. What do you think so far? You've been around for a while and kind of thinking about outside the box. So
I think it's very professional. It's beautiful. It is engaging. It is, I mean, beyond my wildest dreams that you would have put on. It's so beautiful, and it's like something that would come out of Hollywood. I mean, it really is perfect, as well as it's just really, really lovely. And just a minute.
okay, you know, I want to say that what it is that you do, Joy, is very, very important. And we actually, I don't know where Sami is right now. Hopefully he's going to be showing up here soon. Sami spent some time with Lisa, and you actually trained Sami, correct? Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. Well, you know, that happens. So she'll come back. Oh, she's coming back right now. Is that Ghost? Okay, you're back. Okay.
I do apologize. You know, there's Mercury retrograde, if you believe in any of that. So who knows what's in the air. And
well, that would explain a lot of what's been going on today. The good is that there's been a lot of good. And did you just see the segment that we just did? You did, didn't you?
I watched part of it, yes.
Did you get to see the art that
I did. It was beautiful.
Isn't it amazing?
It was absolutely breathtaking.
It really, and to have known Kimberly, her essence was really captured, and that's what you can't ask for more. You know, picture or painting that's perfect is beautiful, yes, but when you can capture the spirit of someone, that is priceless.
That is priceless and eternal. It's absolutely amazing, and it brings tears to my eyes. I'm sure for you all too, of course. So,
Yes, you.
yeah.
Yes, because one of the things, and this is what's good about the understanding Chemo Buddies for Life, is that we are having a lot of successes, and we are seeing a lot of growth and positive and there she is. Yeah, Sharon. Sharon really knew Kimberly well too, because they were two of the very first buddies, um, and we've lost a few, not as many as we could, and we are determined to start turning that around. And that's why it's so important for what it is that you do, what Sami does, and for people to understand the power. Lisa just had that experience since she came here to Vegas. I was going to say California, but that's when.
Hi.
So, can you explain before we have like Lisa start talking about it? But if you could explain a little bit about what can happen when someone is exploring timeline. It's timeline therapy, right? Is the proper way of saying it?
Timeline therapy, yes, and it's trademarked. Yes, it's a series of techniques that work with your conscious mind to go into your subconscious, right, Lisa? To really go where those memories, those decisions were made that are out of our awareness, so we can actually affect change really fast. And that's the beauty of these techniques. You don't have to go into what they are, whether they're trauma or negative emotions and things like that, that can affect our body and our mind, and of course, our spirit and our physical health, because that part is actually running our bodies. So especially when you're working with assisting with healing on the physical, from the physical body, working with all these different parts and layers of ourselves, and being able to do it fast, of course, is for emotional relief and physical relief and all of those things is really, really important.
Yes, so true. And now when you had your time with Sami, how did you feel after that?
I really felt a lot different than before. Being a social worker, I mean, I feel like if whatever you put into your mind or into your body is kind of like what you get out. But I really felt a little bit more empowerment after I had gone through what he had explained and said. And, it's just the process of changing what you believe and the process of how you look about it. That's kind of how I felt. It's just reversing what you believe and what you think, being a little bit more positive about it than negative about it.
Exactly. And Lisa, it happened really fast, didn't it?
Yeah.
What happened? I mean, it was in how many minutes? I mean, it was.
I mean, not very long.
Right. Yeah. Which is, I mean, for a lot of people, within 8 to 20 minutes, even, they can experience relief like that, and a real shifting.
I'd say like 15 probably it was.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is the beauty of why it's being used, especially for people who have trauma, PTSD, and just normal people. We're all walking around. I mean, everybody has something that they're dealing with and have been affected by. I mean, look at our fires out here in California, and gosh, just anything like from shootings and cancer, of course, and anything that anybody's going through, these major transitions in life. Sometimes we need techniques and tools that can help us to shift it fast and work really, really quickly, because it goes in at that level that's running everything, and it's out of our awareness. It's around 97% is actually out of our awareness. So we can want to change something up here. However, sometimes we all actually need help to come in and shift that. And the beauty of it is we don't have to go over it and relive it, especially if we're an abuse survivor or we've been through a trauma. We don't want to relight those neural networks again. We want to be able to shift them really, really fast. And that's what those techniques like timeline therapy and NLP and things like that can go in, and hypnosis. It works at where change happens at the subconscious level. Yeah.
We have quite a few of our different volunteers that have just come in, and they've actually, I have to say, we've been spoiled. We have amazing volunteers, and then they have been making sure that we are fed and taken care of, and brought coffee, and it's just been incredible. So if anybody is saying that oh yeah, you've been doing this for now 12 hours. Well, I've been taken care of for 12 hours too. So, it's a give and take. And so, without that kind of thing, I don't know that it would have been happening like this. So, it's a community effort, and we're getting somewhere with it. So now I would love to explore the idea here that when someone starts putting that information, they have the breakthrough, it happens quickly. Now, is that something that you continue to do work?
Well, that's a good question. We are always going to have things happen to us, and our emotions are part of what we've been given by God as our barometer. And it's important to feel those feelings, to feel if someone passes away, to feel sad, or to feel angry, or to have fear, to protect yourself. Those are valid emotions. However, it's when they get overloaded in our system, and when our minds keep going back, that's when we want to shift that. Clear out that all out. Now, after a breakthrough session with people, what I do, and I'm not sure what Sami does, and he probably does the same thing. And Sami's one of my colleagues, and I love him dearly. And I personally work with people for 90 days after, and then they also have the election to do after work also. But I take them through the process of their breakthrough, which is approximately about 7 hours. We split it up depending on where they are, or they fly me in, and we work all like 7 hours in one day, get her done. And really, it's that fabulous. And then there are laser coaching and tune-ups for the next 3 months to make sure that everyone's on track with where they want to go. So it's not just also, Tamara and Lisa, it's not just getting rid of what's bothering you, your limiting self-talk or your negative emotions. It's also redesigning. Nature abhors a vacuum. Let's go in and really create a positive. We need to know where you want to sail that boat. Where's that island? Where are you going? What are your dreams? And once we get all of that other stuff out of the way, and we create where you want to go, who you want to be when you possibly grow up, right? And hopefully grow up. Yeah. So that's the second part of the process of any wonderful breakthrough. You have to clear. It's like a reno, and then you have to redesign and architect, and then actually create it. And that's what we do with timeline therapy specifically. And it's marvelous, marvelous stuff. Tamara, and Lisa, I want to salute you, Lisa and Tamara, for being survivors and for being some of the most brave people on the planet. And also your organization, Tamara, for Chemo Buddies that you created, and your Service Heroes. You are a hero. I want to salute you for this. everybody has had either cancer for themselves or know somebody who has died that was dear to them. Everybody has been affected by this. And I want you both to know that you are heroes in our minds and hearts, and especially Chemo Buddies, Tamara, your organization is there to support people who are going through chemo treatment so they don't feel completely alone and devastated by not only the physical effects of this terrible diseases and the treatments, but also the emotional aloneness. And I want to salute you.
Well, thank you.
You are my hero, and you're one of the most selfless people on the planet, isn't she, Lisa? She's just absolutely amazing. So, with that being said,
well, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I'm gonna say something. We have Sami. He's saying hello. Sami,
where are you?
You have a link. If I need to give you another one, in fact, maybe I'll do that. We want to see you and have you talk with us about everything. So you guys talk, and I'm going to split this out a bit so that I can give him that link again, and we can get him on. Okay, well, thank you, Joy. You know, I so appreciate you and the words, and you know, the time that we have been able to spend together and has been priceless. And also let's see, what is this? I will see that in a minute. I don't know what it is, Marlena, so I will look and see. I'm looking for Sami, so let's see for Sami. And thank you. Okay, you see this, there's a typo. Okay, PayPal. Okay, yes, okay, thank you. There is a typo, so I will fix that right now before I get a hold of Sami. So let's do that. We are going to trash that, delete, and thank you for seeing that. See, I love this. We have so many great friends and service heroes and everybody watching our back and making sure that we are able to affect the change or and help the people that we are here to help. And okay, so Marlena, thank you. You are awesome, and we absolutely adore and love you. And
hey,
so
Marlena.
here we go. Yeah, she was your travel companion up to Park City not long ago.
Yes, she
able to spend some time up there, right?
Yes. We are all one big family, aren't we here?
Absolutely.
We really are. Big family of mankind, and we're here to support and help each other.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And that's the way it should be, and that's exactly when creating Chemo Buddies and then creating Service Heroes, both of those are exactly that. It is all about having a community, all about making a difference in a positive way and helping those that need it at that very moment in time to make a difference and in their lives, and so then it could possibly change the outcome and lengthen their life, but possibly even more than that. And that's the goal.
Absolutely.
That is definitely the goal. And then with that, also the quality of the life. And so, okay, Sami, sent it. It took a little while, but we did it. And Marlena, you know, oh, there he is.
Hi,
Yay.
Sami.
Yay. Okay, the party's starting now. Now we can have the party.
Hey, Sami.
Hey, Joy.
Yeah, okay.
Hey.
Sami.
So nice to see you again. Hello. Hi, Tamara.
Hello.
Sami, can you put your screen down a little bit? There you go.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Now we can see your handsome face.
Awesome.
I know we're all fans, but he already knows that.
Yeah, thank
We
you
talk
so
about that
much.
all the
I mean,
time. Mr. Hands.
just so you know, Tamara, by the way, Joy is one of my mentors. She was an assistant in when I did my NLP training, and she's awesome. I mean, she's
Well,
actually one of the masters of neurolinguistic programming. She's one of the masters of timeline therapy, and she is one of the people that taught me timeline therapy, and I just adore her. She's amazing.
well, that's one of the reasons I wanted you here. It's kind of like a
Yeah,
surprise in a way. It's like,
And you are amazing too, Sami. I mean, I've
thank
just
you.
been watching you grow and glow, and you have such a heart to serve, and you are absolutely amazing. Let's get together sometime. I'm in Laguna Beach, you're in San Diego. Let's do something
and I'm in
together.
SoCal too,
Actually,
and now we know we can get flights for because and I don't know if you were following at the time, Joy, but Sami had a lot to do with why Lisa is here.
Yes.
Lisa, hi.
Hi, Sami.
And then once she got here, he was like, okay, now let's keep this party going. Let's keep things going for this amazing woman. And so they spent time together her first day, right?
Second day.
On
Second day.
Monday, yes. We did the quick timeline therapy with Lisa, and she was amazing. It was actually one of the best experiences I've had with timeline therapy. She's like really ready to just be happy and let go of everything and just live life. And I see a beautiful smile on Lisa's face, and I just love that smile because when I
And don't you
first
just
talked
love
to
the bling in her hair too?
that is beautiful as well. It was really like an
Very
amazing
sweet.
experience to work with Lisa. I just loved it, and I'm so happy that you're here with Tamara in Vegas. It's just an amazing experience. And Tamara is just she's the person who's putting all this together. She, did you sleep? At
No,
all last
I
night?
haven't. I haven't slept yet. No,
You
but
are a
I
hero. I mean,
went after
seriously,
midnight.
I
I'll
love
get to
it.
sleep for a few hours, and then I got to get back to LA because the next day I'm on the stage again. So, but
That's fine.
there's no sleep right now. There's no rest until we get this thing. This is the season of giving. This is the season of making Chemo Buddies for life the successful and stable nonprofit that it is, because it is time for us to affect change throughout the world that
Yes.
we are making. And we just have to make the final pieces of that come together, and there's no time like now. And so
Absolutely.
every single chance that I get to share, and I'm really lucky because there's a lot of really amazing, wonderful, loving people like yourselves, and that are so supportive of me, of Chemo Buddies for Life, and the Service Heroes. The least I can do is show up, do my part, and follow through. And if that means that I have a few days without a little bit of sleep, in the end, it's going to make a huge difference to the world. And I'm there. I'm there. And
You're
that's
awesome.
what we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. I mean,
Yes.
this is evidence. This is so, and uh, I have to say that, and I don't want to say this wrong, guys, because I was raised by a mother that was of the 70s. Okay, so total there. And we've talked about this because Joy knows a lot about my mom, literally. And and my mom was very open-minded, and yet she was a Republican, and there's nothing against the Republicans. I don't go there what I am. No one knows, no one ever will, because I'm a nonprofit, so you don't go there. But my mom, but we've talked about this before. My mother was she was a yin and yang with her brother. Her brother was a hippie of the 60s. He had the long curly hair that froed. He had literally the VW bus. And he is an artist. He ends up being a professor. Okay, where am I going with all of this? my mom there for a while charted out everything. She kept her dresser completely clean so that she could see her whole chart, and she didn't do anything without doing all that kind of stuff. And then of course she had to listen to Helen Redding every morning. I am woman, hear me roar. My brother had her memorial. He was talking about, try to grow up as an adolescent boy, and you're being raised by a single mom that has that playing over and over again. That might have something to do with your psyche. But with that said, you both are stellar individuals. That is no question in my mind.
Thank you.
But the witnessing that I have done recently of some of the stuff that's been happening because of the teachings that you, and the practices, and the beliefs, and just the simplicity, and yet the sincerity, and the actual work that's being, I can't deny that there's been, how do you say it, a miracle, and I don't say that lightly. And I just want to say to both of you, because you both mean a world to me, and I know that Lisa also, I mean, the fact that she's even here, that is incredible. I mean, yeah, I know. And Sami, you really put it out there, and that you saw something that day, and you're like, okay, we're going live. We're going to make this happen. This is what we're going to do. We, don't worry about it, and just, kind of like have the faith. And I did, and look.
So. And yeah, thank you. I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second. I just want Lisa to say something, because she's a strong person. She's going through cancer right now herself, and I want you to say something to people who are going through cancer. Lisa, I know, like, you have so much positive energy. You're very optimistic. You're so full of life. And what could you say to people who are watching right now and going through hard time? And I know, I mean, I want you to share this, because when we had our little experience on Sunday, I just noticed like how strong you are and how awesome, how wonderful you are. Like, is there any advice that you can give to people who are going through cancer right now? Just from you being in your position, just, I want you to share some of what you said on Sunday, some of what we learned. So
I believe with the right resources and the right people that you can beat it.
I love it.
Yay.
Yes. And it's just, I mean, I learned so much from Lisa, even though, we worked together in those couple hours. And really, like Lisa was saying, you know what, if there is a problem, if there is something happening in life that we cannot control, focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the things that you can actually control. And that's like something I learned from you, Lisa. And thank you so much for that learning. It was just amazing. When she just started practicing that immediately. She's like, okay, I'm gonna be doing all kinds of positive self-talks, and I love myself, and I'm gonna just be saying all these wonderful things, and I'm just gonna beat it. And I'm like, you're amazing. You're a strong person. You're a strong woman, and it's just amazing what I learned from you. And thank you so much. I just wanted to say this. So
thank you, Sami.
I'm glad that you had her do that, because
thank you.
That, I love when Lisa says something.
Mm-hmm.
It really is that she's saying something. She
Yes.
Not. I talk a lot. I know it. She doesn't talk a lot, but what she says is a lot.
That's awesome. Yes, I mean, and this is a woman that spent her life in service of others. This is a social worker. She spent her life, and it's just amazing, like what I learned from her. I mean, I did the timeline therapy to her, but I ended up learning so much from her that I'm like, this is really mind blowing, and I'm gonna be applying all these learnings in my life to myself, and I'm gonna be sharing this with my clients as well. With everyone. It's really, I mean, how amazing is that? When life happens, when there is something in life that you cannot control, focus on what you can control. It's just there is, because what we cannot control is only 10% of life, right? And there is another 90% is like how we react to that. And it's, if we focus on that, it's just, things will get better. Nothing but good things will happen from that. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that learning.
Thank you.
That's,
Yeah.
and I really apologize. I have to leave because I have a call starting in 5 minutes, and I really enjoyed being here with you guys. And thank you so much for
Thank you, Sami.
everything you're doing, Tamara. Thank you guys, and I really enjoyed being here with you guys. So
Well, thank
Love you,
you.
Sammy.
thank you. I love you guys.
We all love you. Yes,
Thank you.
definitely. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You all have an amazing day. Thank you.
You too.
Oh, and
Bye-bye.
can I offer your offer?
Yes, please. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's do that, please. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not a problem. All right. So
You go
go
ahead.
ahead. Or did you want to offer it, or do you
No,
need to
you
go?
go
to the
ahead.
call?
You go ahead, Tamara.
Okay. Well, you were going to offer a timeline therapy, right? And I like the way that that Jay did it. I don't know if you saw, but that he did it for a certain amount, and the first one that did that amount was the one that was going to get the offer. So, if you have an amount that you want to put out there, why don't you tell us, and we'll go for that.
It's a $750 for a 3 hour
Okay.
session, for 2 to 3 hour session, complete breakthrough session of timeline therapy. And I'm actually offering 2 sessions for 2 people that really need it. So
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we
yes,
know that it works. So,
thank
okay.
you so
Thank
much.
you. All right. You have a wonderful day, and thank you for everything
You
you
have
do.
an amazing day, and thank you so much for being who you are, Tamara, for everything you're doing, for putting all this together. You're awesome. You're amazing, all of you guys. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. You too. So, Joy, what do you think about that?
Hey, this is all amazing. It's wonderful, and I loved what Sammy had to say. And Lisa, you are awesome. You're a hero too, Lisa, because when you're working in your life, working as a social worker, I can only imagine the stories and the trauma that you went through having to hear and take in. And right, is that correct? And as a trainer of hypnosis and timeline therapy and neurolinguistic programming, our minds, we are recording everything all the time. So it's so important to be able to release this stuff at the end of the day, no matter how anybody does. Maybe you go swimming, or maybe you go to church, or maybe you just walk on the beach, or or you, whatever it is, or you actually learn different ways to let things go. And especially like you can control and let the other stuff go. At the same time, sometimes we have to also, figure out different techniques and ways to let go of stuff. Stuff, I call it, because sometimes it's a lot. And that's why, your work with Sami was so amazing and wonderful. And I do want to salute you, because anybody that's working with, whether it's our first responders or people like you with social work, or nurses and doctors and ERs and our soldiers and our veterans, people who are heroes out there helping to save lives, and whether they're families or physical lives. There's stress and things that we take in, and it is really important to be able to have some way to process that in a positive way. And as they say, if you're focusing on something that you don't want, you can, just a simple little tip is just say, what do I want instead? That's positive. What do I want instead? Because our minds always go to other areas, and sometimes we just have to kind of rein ourselves back in and say, well, what do I really want instead? What can, like you said, Lisa, what can I control in this situation that's positive and good, and focus on that? So, yeah.
That's good stuff. That's and coming from a family that has a fire family, and it's interesting because of the fact that there for a while went to like a traditional therapist and was talking about that, and a lot of them do, a lot of the heroes, a lot of the people that are the first responders, they have a lot of stuff that they are dealing with.
Yes.
And a lot of stuff that they're not necessarily willing to even admit, because it would be difficult for them to continue in their work. And so the fact that this therapy is just so, it's so needed and so impactful, and here the opportunity for Lisa to be able to be a part of it on a couple of different fronts. I mean, here she is kind of in social work. Are you one of the social workers that's considered a first responder? Because some are.
No, not really.
Okay, because some are. Actually, my aunt was one for a while, because she was called upon if there was a certain issue, because she worked with children, and so then she would need to be able to go and help them out of a certain situation. So she had the credentials as a first responder, and it's interesting because of the fact that so many people that we take for granted have, and they sometimes even take it for granted, and you then start seeing the coalition, the fact that they many times, or some of us, some of the other ones, end up with some kind of disease or some kind of a health issue.
Yes.
And so that can happen, and we have people coming and going. So if you see me waving, we do. And I'm actually going to step away for a second, and I'll be right back. And if you want to talk, and we can have people come on over here and visit.
Brett can come up, and
Brett, why don't you come on over?
And what's
Renee?
Renee.
Yeah, if you guys want to come over and say, and I'm going to come over. And
Yay!
And we're talking. We're going in.
You want to talk for a minute, and Renee can talk for a minute.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Brett. How are you? I saw you setting up.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Yay. So when Tamara comes back, I'll just share with her what I wanted to offer to Chemo Buddies, to the group there, as with regards to assisting with some timeline therapy too, for some of the people who are going through treatments. Hey, Missy. How are you, gorgeous? Hi, Renee.
Good morning. How are you? Let me see.
Good morning. Hey, here I am. Yay. So,
it's always so great to have you. Yeah, I was listening to you with what you're talking about with the mindset and all of that stuff. It's really such an integral part of our being, and the thoughts that we put in our own head, and the tapes we play in our own mind, and the old tapes that we repeat, the negative that we just keep playing again and again. And we all do. I'm no different than anybody else. We all play them, and it's like you got to do and put the stop on it. And that saying, if it's to be, it's up to me. It's up to us. We have the power to have the negative thoughts. We also have the power to stop it, and start the new one, the new tape, and make it play the things that are positive, that are going to lead us in the right direction and down the right path. The path to least resistance, which is going to be our own mind.
Yes. Can you see me? Okay. Yes. And again, part of my trainings and Sami's and some of us who really study that correlation between the conscious mind and the subconscious or unconscious is that 3% is conscious that we're running, right? And The rest is anywhere between 90 to 97% is out of our awareness or our subconscious or unconscious programs. And so even if we're consciously going, gee, I want this, this, and this, the conscious mind is called the goal setter, and the unconscious or subconscious is the goal getter. And this is what's running the show, what's out of our awareness. So when we become excellent communicators or learn how to communicate better with that part of ourselves that's actually running our physical body, right? That's its primary, it's what's
You still there? Hello. Okay. I can't hear her anymore.
Can't hear her anymore? She faded away.
Well, her beautiful face is still there. I just can't hear her. So I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Let me see. Can you fix this anyway? Oh, I don't want to ruin this. Let me see. I'm not sure. Miss Tamara.
Yes.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, here.
Could be the user. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you text something?
I didn't actually. I was going to, but I don't want to do anything. I see her. She's beautiful, but
Oh, yeah, no, you're good.
it just stopped.
No, you're good.
Where is she?
She'll come back on. Sometimes, yes, see, there we go. She's coming back on.
again.
There you are.
Here I am.
Yeah,
Okay,
no
good.
problem. No
We're good.
worries.
So I'm not quite sure where it stopped.
Yeah, just in the conscious mind.
The conscious mind. So that's why, for some of us that want to help and assist people and train them learn how to access that part of themselves that's out of their awareness so they can be more in control and have that excellent communication so that, you can have that healing of your body, mind, and your spirit, because those unresolved emotions and trauma, even the American Medical Association has caught up now and saying that they have found that there's a correlation between trauma 3 to 5 years before the actual onset of some cancers. And, Deepak Chopra, Louise Hayes have all made the correlations, of course, between the emotional state and how we think and how we believe and how we feel. It's all integral and puts together our complete package of who we are. And so in order to, if you want to live a long life, especially in this world where we're connected instantaneously to everything that's going on the planet, whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong, right? We need to know how to keep clear in our minds and our emotions, as well as, our bodies. So we have people who are, body hackers and body gurus and cleansing. Well, what we do also is to help you let go of limiting beliefs and emotions and trauma and things that you're not even aware of that are still impacting your life as well as your future. And so it's to just to help you to live a more compelling and beautiful life. And it's so easy. It's so easy and it's so fast. That's the beauty of it. It's like,
May I turn the tables on you and ask you a question?
sure.
Okay. What made you get involved in this? Because you're such a beautiful soul, and my gosh, the first time we met actually in, I believe it was Hollywood at the Mansion at the Kiss the Monkeys event, and I just connected with you like immediately, and you're just such a kind soul. But what made you start doing what you're doing, and how long have you been doing it?
Gosh, that's a really good question. I have been interested in alternative things and, health and everything since I was a teenager. One of my main turning points, though, was I have an amazing twin sister who's beautiful and healed and has a gorgeous son and has been married. However, when we were younger, when we were about 23, she had a nervous breakdown. And I had to ride with her in the ambulance to the hospital where she was. And then for about 17 years, she really had a hard time. And I lost my best friend during that time. we had traveled together. We were, fraternal twins. And so I wanted to find out, how does our minds work, especially to be in control. And also my mother died shortly thereafter of pancreatic cancer. It was, she even said on her deathbed that it was how she felt she could get the situation moving with my sister. And so, between a lot of different losses, as well as going, well, how do we think, and how can we be balanced, and rather than the
Oh no, she froze at an integral part. It's like the cliffhanger.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes it just a little bit, but
it just takes a breath. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it doesn't usually.
I just took one too. Okay, go ahead.
Renee, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay, I could still see you. So it became apparent that I started learning about hypnosis, and I mentored with a wonderful teacher and author and trainer of self-hypnosis, and he did workshops, and Dr. Henry Leo Bolduc. So I started working with hypnosis for clients in the 80s, as well as for learning about self-hypnosis and working with children. I mean, especially the art of telling bedtime stories and metaphors for curative, the processes, because remember, the unconscious mind, stories go right in here. That's why people tell stories. That's why Jesus told parables. That's why fairy tales. Einstein was asked, how can we make our kids smart? And he said, read them fairy tales. And they said, well, how can we make them smart? He said, read them more fairy tales, because it goes in at this level, and this is where change happens. And Einstein would say, imagination is more important than knowledge, because he knew, as a quantum physicist, how reality is created. So that's a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah.
So at any rate, in the early 1990s, I heard about the new kid on the block, which had been around for about 15 years, NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming. I became a practitioner of that in 1992, and had an office on the East Coast, and then learned about timeline therapy and studied with Dr. Tad James in 1998, and then became, enlarged and had offices, and also was a real estate agent too. So I dovetailed those practices of.
Hold on, you froze. I was told not to touch anything, so I'm not touching anything. Just hang on if you can hear me. It just froze again. Let's see what we do to. Hold on.
I don't know why this keeps doing that.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You came back. Okay.
Okay. It's so cute, because I can see and hear you, and you guys, it's like Andy M, anyways.
I'll call it Andy M next time. Okay.
So the long and the short of it is, and then I became a trainer. I'm a trainer of this. So I love to not only work with people in their breakthroughs and couples, and people will bring me to where they are to work with them also. I also train people. I certify people. So if anyone wants to learn how to become more excellent communicator with hypnosis or timeline therapy or NLP, then I do trainings, and so you can reach out to me about that. My company is Joys of Success, and you can reach me at my email address is iamjoyworld@gmail.com. My phone number is 949-520-0095, and I'll put that down somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna
and I also, Tamara, can you hear me there, darling?
Can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I extended to Tamara that I would love to be able to work with some of her chemo buddies, similarly that Sami did with Lisa, and give them timeline therapy to help alleviate what they're going through, just as a service. And I also have a donation for anybody who is suffering from the fires in California or the shootings in Thousand Oaks, a half an hour free PTSD and trauma relief session for those people. We just have to validate. Otherwise, I do my breakthroughs and for couples, and they're fast. It's so fast. And then also
that's a testament to you, Joy. It's a testament to you and your loving heart and your soul, because when you connect with people, as you do so well, they can feel you, and you're right, it starts here. And when people know that you really care and you're here to give, serve, and share, and that's what I love to do as well, and that's where people find the connection.
Yay.
I want to give a shout out to Sharon. She said hello. I see in the comments here, so hello to Sharon Nichols Ward. Back to you, and hope and pray you're doing well. She's just a very kind soul as well. So she said hello to Brett. So we're happy to be here and share whatever we can with Tamara, the Chemo Buddies, and to help her out. I'm so glad to see you. And actually, we don't live so far from each other, so we need to make sure we connect.
Let's get together. Absolutely. And Brett, I don't know you. I haven't met you. I'm sorry. I didn't tell us about you.
Yes. Yeah.
He's one of the Chemo Buddies.
Yeah.
You are awesome.
So
Yay.
Tell us about you. We did a Facebook Live yesterday, but that wasn't on here. That was on my Facebook thing. So
okay.
So go ahead and share with Joy and the audience out here what you.
I had lymphoma back when I was 14, so I'm a cancer survivor.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yay.
Yeah.
And the big thing with Brett, Joy, and he was one of the 4 Chemo Buddies that we had coming when we were doing the 4. And the reason why is because there's an awareness that needs to take place that when you have childhood chemo or cancer, you're in the childhood system. When you turn 18, you're considered adult, and you're drop kicked into the adult cancer system, and they don't necessarily do that in a real gentle and a effective way. And so Brett has needed to retest and just get in there, because we need to have follow-up, right? That's part of our program for the rest of our life. And it's been a difficult process for him to get seen by an appropriate doctor. And this is something that we need to get changed. And so that's part of our mission too. And our message is that the education that, there's a lot of good that's going on out there, and we're going to embrace it as much as we can, but we got to shout it from the mountaintops when we need to be doing some tweaking around and helping those that need the help. And we do not want to let time be wasted because of bureaucracy. And it's not like we don't have insurance for this. He's done everything that he needs to do to have appropriate insurance, to be following the appropriate steps. This is about one of the kindest and best behaved and incredible, working, going to college, doing this, taking care of his single mom, and that has just had a surgery, and he made sure she was okay so he could come here to then be a part of this and weird out there. So absolutely. And so this is who Brett is, and one of the ones that I did want you to be able to visit with, because
I would love to.
That there are some issues that we need to and to get that message out there. So it is almost the end of the hour, and I just want to say thank you so very much, Joy.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I always love saying it. Your name epitomized.
I was just going to say the same thing, that her name befits her.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
so.
You're going to look for my book coming out in early 2019. It's all about joy. That's not the name of the title. We got the title, but
I know, you told me that before. I was like, okay, that's a winner.
About joy.
Winner.
And Tamara, you need your own cable TV show. You need, like Ellen, you need your own show. I mean, really, doesn't she, everybody out there on Facebook? Give a shout. Tamara needs her own show, because not only do you have a heart to help others, you're also so brilliant about how you put all of this together. This is beautiful. I mean, I feel like I'm watching something from Disneyland here. It's beautiful. And
it's a team
It's
effort,
magical.
but thank you.
so it is magical. And I really feel that with all of the people that you have pulled together, all of us with our different, just our different gifts that we've been blessed with.
Disciplines and well, you
Your
know,
service here, it's wonderful.
well, thank you. I just want to say that I'm a lucky girl to have so many wonderful friends, and you're one of them. And I just absolutely adore you and love you, and have from the moment we had our amazing experience that I will never forget, and nor will you. And it was a gift. So thank you.
You call me, you know my offer.
Will do.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
We're gonna close
Love you
down.
guys.
And guys, you know what?
Thank you, Joy. We'll talk soon.
I want to let everybody know that is right here, right now. We are going to be going into hour number 13. We need a little bit of time to reset our stage. It's going to be minuscule moments. However, with that said, if there's a little bit of a hiccup in the time, just understand we have not given up. We are here. We are just resetting because we have some literal magic that's about to take place. All right, stay tuned.
That was